And hello my friends, it is your DJ Crazy Tom. Glad to be with you for a special Crazy Tom edition of What Drives Me Crazy. Basically, if you've never heard of What Drives Me Crazy, it's a topic that just seems to drive me completely insane, making me wonder, why does this even happen? Well, what I want to talk to you about today is a term I heard earlier today, which really sent me a little off the deep end for good reason too. Now, let me explain the situation here. I was talking to one of my friends, and he said to me, in regards to me wearing stuff because it was too hot, and he said, when you're done work, why don't you put on one of those wife beaters? And I'm like, I do not beat my wife. Are you kidding me? I mean, if you take it literally, you look at the name wife beater, and I know it's been a widely used term for a very long time. And I know it regards an article of clothing. The problem is, domestic violence cases have not necessarily gone away. Sadly, too many people are suffering from abuse and stuff like that. So obviously, for friends of mine who have dealt with abuse in that particular way, that would be a very, very sore subject. So why do we call those tank tops wife beaters? They shouldn't be. They should be tank tops. Unfortunately, we live, of course, with no official language. Obviously, the official language is political correctness. If we're going to head down that alley, then we have to outlaw the name wife beater because it's too violent of a term. But the problem is, it's acceptable. Why? If you can't make fun of anybody anymore, whether it be for gender, racial, financial, or any equality whatsoever, this has to fall into the same line. So why is wife beater acceptable? I don't understand that. To make wife beater acceptable is to also indirectly promote domestic violence against people, especially men putting out domestic violence against women. Now, I know it happens the other way around too, not as often, but it doesn't make any sense at all. Somebody has to come up with a bit of a new terminology. Now, the reason why it's such a sore subject with me is because I've had many, many friends who have dealt with abuse. And nobody should have to. As I've heard a talk show host say one time, the first time you are abused is the last time you are abused. But unfortunately, those people allow it to go on thinking it's the norm. I deserve it. No, you don't. And obviously the term wife beater doesn't help. Because number one, husband beater doesn't work either. And number two, there should be no violent term. It should be something that's just simple and basic and not over showing off here, you know? Now, it's okay to show off your muscles with a tank top and stuff, but somebody's got to do a better job and change the name of wife beater. Because all this does, to me, indirectly promotes violence. And it shouldn't happen that way. I have too many female friends, and in case I didn't tell you, 95% of my friends are female. It should not be this way. And people need to understand that, unfortunately, there are kids that are seeing this term and thinking, you know what, oh, it's okay to do this and do that, and get the wrong message. Why messages tend to be promoted in the wrong way and be acceptable, that is what seriously sends me through the roof. That's why I would never call a tank top or any article of clothing a wife beater, because I don't understand how that could even be acceptable, especially in a society where, once again, political correctness is turned around to the other side. Everyone's so hypersensitive. Now, if people are so hypersensitive about this, how come nothing's being done about it? That's what I don't understand. You have somebody who could be criticized for saying one little thing about a heritage, saying, oh, it should be written in Chinese or something, and get guillotined for it, but yeah, it's okay to say wife beater. Or call an article of clothing a wife beater. I don't get it. It just does not make any sense whatsoever, and I hope for you females who are watching, I mean, it may not be a big deal, I understand, but for some, I guess in a way it's a short subject, a very sore subject to them. Especially based on history, especially based on your own travels and all that stuff. I mean, hey, nobody should ever have to be abused. So how should it be acceptable to call an article of clothing a wife beater? Somebody's going to have to explain me this one, because I just don't get. But then again, this country of Moronica, where morons run the country, doesn't matter who your president is, whether you think it's Trump or Hillary or Bernie or the Three Stooges. The bottom line is, nothing's going to change. We have to do it for ourselves. We can't trust those above us to do it for us. So maybe if we get the subject out regarding something like this, we can actually make a difference and make our own lives better and this planet a little bit of a better place to live. After all, we only get one turn at this, so why not make a change when we can see something that's obviously wrong, at least in my opinion, regarding the term wife beater and what it is, rather than have it mentioned completely off guard as something violent. How about calling the thing the way it is? A tank top. That's it. Nothing else. Not a wife beater, a tank top. Leave it at that. That is what drives me crazy. You can send your opinions, of course. I'll be putting it on my Facebook page at facebook.com/crazytom. You can twig me, that's Twitter and iGram, at CrazyTom Show as well. Hope you guys enjoy. Here from Belle Mead, New Jersey, Crazy Tom, out of here. We'll talk to you soon.